And now it's time for today's daily forecast with EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martrich.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is October 10th, 2018, and the day today will start off very similar to what it did yesterday with some areas of fog, and a few spots might see some patchy drizzle in association with that fog, but I do think this afternoon we turn to partly cloudy skies as opposed to yesterday. Very similar to yesterday in a lot of ways, but yesterday we saw basically mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, just a few peaks of sun. We weren't expecting as much in the way of sunshine in the afternoon. We did have some peaks of sun toward different portions of the afternoon, but then it kind of faded behind clouds again, so it was just back and forth. Today I expect a little bit more in the way of the sunshine department, so we do expect to go to partly cloudy across the entire region today. If you look off to the far southwest here, this is, of course, Major Hurricane Michael that will be making landfall in the Florida Panhandle today. Now, it's going to be very close to between Panama City and Apalachicola in Florida, somewhere in there is I think where the landfall point is. Looking at the latest 3-kilometer high-res NAM, and this is showing a landfall point of right at Panama City. So it doesn't really matter where the landfall is exactly. There's still going to be some very strong winds and surge on the east side of this. To Apalachicola, probably the worst effects are going to be on the eastern side of that eye wall, but even over here you're going to have some pretty strong wind gusts, and this should be making landfall as a Category 3 major hurricane, might even be flirting with borderline Category 4. The official National Hurricane Center forecast takes us to 125 miles per hour at landfall, which is only 5 miles per hour away from a Category 4. Now, when you're talking about classification there in terms of wind speed, the only difference between that is defined by the National Hurricane Center is going from devastating to catastrophic damage. So it's a fine line there. It's going to be pretty bad, and hopefully these people have heeded the evacuation orders down in this region, because this is unlike Florence, which weakened a little bit on approach. This will not. This will be strengthening on approach to landfall, and some very strong winds and surge coming into these areas of the Florida Panhandle. So very bad situation for them down there. But the good thing about this is, unlike Florence, it's not going to sit and stall here for days and days and days and dump tremendous rain. Now, we'll have tremendous rain with it in terms of rainfall rates, but it's not going to stick over the same area for days. So this is going to keep moving pretty rapidly, and that is a good thing when you're talking about landfalling hurricanes. You can deal with the wind a little bit better than you can the flooding rainfall, which is the worst part of any hurricane. So this is going to be moving pretty uniformly. Once it makes landfall, here's 3 hours later, it's over just near Tallahassee at this point, and it keeps off to the northeast. By the time we get to Wednesday night, it's up here into Georgia, or at least the center of circulation will be. So we don't expect it to make a run at our region, and that's because we have a trough out here to the west that's going to be pushing eastward at the same time, and is going to essentially force this ridge. There's a ridge out here that's going to give us the warm temperatures today. There's a ridge out here. There's a deep trough that's kind of building in and pushing eastward at the same time. So this high is going to be eroding. That's the ridge. And that'll allow an escape route, this trough, to pick it up and kind of send it out here like this. Okay, it's going to pick it up and send it northeast once this gets out of the way. And we do think the high is going to get out of the way for that to do that. And all models guidance is pretty consistent in showing that turn once it comes up here over Georgia. And this is looking at Wednesday night now. We will have an increase in cloud sun after partly cloudy evening. Scattered showers and perhaps a runnable thunder will start making its way in late tonight toward dawn, and then it'll continue into Thursday with scattered showers. Again, a runnable thunder still possible. In the meantime, Michael is going to be making its way to the Carolinas in the areas that were just hit by Florence. So luckily, this is still moving pretty quickly. I know it's dropping heavy rain. I don't want to minimize the situation there because they already have it pretty bad. And they're in the recovery efforts that are going to take quite some time, but at least it's moving this time. So it should be in and out pretty quickly. Now, we do still have to watch southern New Jersey and Delaware here for some fringe impacts of heavy rain and some gusty winds. I do think if you get some gusty winds out of this when it's in this position, if this is correct, in these areas only, you'd be looking at wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour, and you could have a couple inches of rain in a short amount of time, and that's going to be late Thursday night, it looks like, into very early Friday morning. You can see that here, and the system's finally going to pull away Friday afternoon. So you will have improving conditions later in the day on Friday. For the rest of us, though, we're looking at improving conditions on Thursday night. Probably still remaining mostly cloudy because this system is still going to be in the vicinity, and a lot of cloud cover associated with that. So we'll have that on Thursday night, but then Friday is going to be a partly cloudy day as we'll call it more clouds in the morning, and then the opportunity for clearing in the afternoon. It'll have a nice Friday. A much cooler Friday behind that front. So we're talking about temperatures dropping about 20 degrees from what we saw on what we're going to see today to what we're going to see for highs on Friday. And that's not even the bottom yet. We're going to Saturday. Saturday, I think, is going to be even cooler yet. Weak disturbance off to the north could provide a shower to our far north, interior areas here on Saturday morning, but I don't think it gets too far south and east. It's mostly a western New York and Great Lakes types thing here. Elsewhere, we should just remain partly cloudy. But Saturday is going to be one of those days where we are going to be struggling to get out of the 50s. As a matter of fact, most areas will stay in the 50s for highs on Saturday, but it will be partly cloudy here on Saturday, and then high pressure moves in for Sunday. We will warm up a little bit Sunday, a couple degrees, and maybe get up to back up to close to the 60-degree mark here on Sunday with the winds turning to the southwest as high pressure remains in control. It will be mostly sunny on Sunday here locally. And then once we get to Monday, we have a cold front moving in from the west, so an increase in clouds starting off partly cloudy, and then later in the day you have scattered showers along a reinforcing cold front that will come through on Monday night, and that's when the rain will continue, like late afternoon on Monday night, Monday evening and Monday night, and then that wraps up and then clears out here for Tuesday. Here's a look at Tuesday. High pressure moving back in, partly to mostly sunny skies, and back down in the 50s for highs. So when you're talking about these high temperatures going, then the days that they're stuck in the 50s, we might actually sneak into the 30s for overnight lows. Might even be some patchy frost in some of in the far outlying areas away from the cities and the usual colder spots. So keep an eye out for that. I think you have a better chance of that as we get into the middle of next week for some more frost as we get another cool shot. This is Tuesday here. Once we get beyond that, it looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are also going to be highs in the 50s and temperatures in the 30s. So we'll have some frost risks coming up. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for October 10th, 2018. Have a great Wednesday.